This is the new Samsung S21 Ultra. It has a huge task before it. It needs to redeem the S line of Samsung phones that has not seen glory days for the past couple of years, at least since the S10 from 2019. Last year's S20 Ultra was a major disappointment, and the S phones needed a serious kick in terms of sales to bring it back to the forefront. Luckily, from what we've seen so far, it all seems good news. This year's Ultra looks like it's living up to its name, and not only that, it is considerably cheaper than last year's model. Do your research when buying it. At the moment, you can get a lot of freebies and nearly free wearables and accessories with this phone, besides the usual cashback and discount offers. This is a completely non-sponsored video. This is the Indian retail unit, and I've bought it myself. It cost me 96,000 rupees or around $1,300 after the 10,000 rupees discount currently available with HDFC Bank cards. So without further ado, let's get into the unboxing, form our first impressions, and give you a feel of its core strengths and weaknesses. So as you can see, the box is pretty slimmed down this year, and that's because there is no charger. Samsung has taken a leaf out of Apple's book, and there is no charger this year. There are no earphones as well, from what I hear. So this is how the retail unit looks like, and it has an MRP of 1,29,000 rupees written on here. This is for the 12GB 256GB variant, and this is the Phantom Silver. That's not the price you will pay even from day one, which is today. The price that you can get it for, the lowest price, is 96,000 currently. So without further ado, let's unbox this. So now let's lift the box slowly, and there we are. And we have this little tab, nice little tab to pull it out. And there we are. That's the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra in the Phantom Silver color. As you can see, that's how it appears. This is the retail unit, the Indian retail unit. This is the Exynos variant, by the way. So just keeping that aside for a second, obviously there is no charger in there. It's completely empty. We've got this box within a box experience. So you got the warranty card, you've got the regional lock guide, and there's a quick start guide. And you get the USB Type-C cable right there. And that's all there is inside the box. There's no headphones, no charger this year, unfortunately. This seems to be a prevailing trend. This is probably going to spread across to other manufacturers as well. So basically, you have to activate this phone with an Indian SIM card and make calls at least for 5 minutes, and before you can use a SIM from another region. So that's something to bear in mind with the Indian retail unit. Okay, now let's peel off the covers to reveal the Phantom Silver color. And it says here 256GB. We'll take off the sticker. It doesn't seem to be applied too strongly there. And we have another cover here for the camera module. We'll take that off. And then we have one protecting the front screen. We will take that off as well. One thing I really like about Samsung phones is the fact that they come with a thin fiber screen protector already applied. I can see that this is really well applied, so you can really start using this phone out of the box. Considering you're also getting a free cover with this if you went for the VIP pass or pre-registered for the phone. This is the first look of the Phantom Silver S21 Ultra 5G 256GB variant. Now let's try turning it on. Okay, and it comes on. Okay, and then we can go through the rest of the setup process. First impressions, it's quite a weighty phone. It's not like the S10 Plus I had previously, which was really lightweight. This has got some heft to it, but not overtly so. And because it's tall and narrow, it's quite easy to hold. So it's not as big in the hand as an iPhone 12 Pro Max perhaps. This is the less talked about Phantom Silver color, and it looks stunning in this finish. The great part is that it is easier to grip and feels narrow and tall in the hand when compared to similar sized phones. At 228 grams, it is matching the weight of the heavyweight iPhone 12 Pro Max and is thus not svelte in any way or form. In fact, the regular iPhone 12 almost feels like a featherweight in comparison. But in my short span of time with this phone, the more you use it, the more you get accustomed to its size. However, make no mistake, this is certainly not a one-handed phone. The micro SD card slot is gone, and so are the charger and headphones from the box. A very frustrating trend started by Apple last year. In fact, it's sad to see Samsung first mock and then ape Apple at deleting such a core accessory from the box. For fans of super fast and powerful charging, you will have to use an older charger you may already have or buy a new one separately. It's good that at least the phone supports 15 watts of Qi wireless charging and up to 25 watts of wired charging. A quick note here on the S Pen. It's great that it's now supported, but apart from beefing up the phone's feature set in marketing materials, there's very little reason to buy this phone for the S Pen. This is not a replacement for the Galaxy Note line, and there's no way to store the pen inside the phone, and you will need an extra wide case for this. If you already have an S Pen lying around, sure, go ahead and have some fun with it. But if you're looking to buy a phone specifically with stylus support, wait for the next refresh of the Note line. Now for me personally, the main deciding factors for any phone are display, performance, battery life, cameras, and physical dimensions, specifically in that order. So let's touch on those aspects. In terms of physical aspects of the phone, the design is instantly recognizable to anyone who's had a Galaxy S device in the past. Now, looks are extremely subjective, but it's a very attractive phone for me, especially in this phantom silver color. The new camera module that blends into the side of the phone is a refreshing change, but it makes me want to add some sort of film to protect it as well. The rest of the phone is all familiar stuff, with one speaker grill at the bottom and a total of 3 microphone holes, one at the bottom and 2 at the top. Perhaps as a nod to its 5G capability, there are a total of 6 antenna lines, a total of 3 on the sides and 3 on the top and bottom. Now the display is 6.8 inches of 1500 nits of QHD plus goodness. Sublime, sharp and vivid, the best ways to describe it. Can be configured to a more natural setting if you like, instead of the vivid option. The best part is that this year QHD resolution combines with a 120Hz display. This was the sole reason I did not upgrade to the S20 Ultra last year and chose the Ultra over the S21 and the S21 Plus this year. After all, the Galaxy S phones have had QHD displays and glass sandwich bodies at least since the S6. So now you can enjoy that gorgeous QHD display in 120Hz refresh rate with an added 300 nits of peak brightness. It doesn't get better than this, and this is the best display on any phone at the moment. And no, iPhones do not stand a chance, especially given their woeful display issues this year, as I've spoken of in my iPhone 12 display issues video. Links in the description. The best part is that the refresh rate can ramp up and down from 10Hz to 120Hz based on the content that's being displayed, thanks to LTPO technology. In fact, in a testament to Samsung's display tech prowess, it is rumored that Samsung will be the exclusive suppliers of OLED displays for Apple iPhones in 2021. The S21 Ultra display also features Eye Comfort Shield, which is a fancy name for a blue light filter. And for strength, it uses Corning Gorilla Glass Victus, one of the latest and toughest versions of display glass. The display also hides the now bigger fingerprint scanner. It seems really fast and looks greatly improved over past generations. This is certainly a boon in pandemic times. Now the performance, and this here is the Exynos variant of the S21. That means the new 5nm Exynos 2100 SoC instead of the Snapdragon 888 that you get in the US and Korea. Here's where you need to be careful when making up your mind about these phones. Traditionally, there have been many differences in performance and battery life when it comes to the two SoCs, and unfortunately benchmarks tell us that it's no different this year. Although it's an improvement over the figures last year's Exynos chips could muster, and the gap has narrowed, it is still well behind the Snapdragon variants. The good news is that, save for a small percentage of people that will actually use the CPU and GPU for intensive tasks and games, most people will never notice any lag or performance issues. Combined with at least 12 GB of RAM, the performance of this phone is outstanding. Apps open in a jiffy, stay loaded in the memory when multitasking, and switching between them or scrolling through a list or within the apps, it feels super snappy thanks to the 120Hz display refresh rate. In fact, my S10 Plus was as fast on the day I sold it in 2020 as the day I got it over a year ago. That speaks volumes for Samsung's ever improving One UI and should still be the case for the S21 Ultra. It is quite a full-featured operating system, and now you can do things like get rid of Bixby for the most part very easily. In fact, I have always preferred the system fonts used in Samsung phones over iOS. Everything here is just more legible and easier to read, especially in apps like Facebook. And apps like the Phone app has got a few tweaks aimed for those that don't want the usual dialer. The strength of Android shines through in its customization options as usual, and you can have pretty much any app of choice handling your calling, emailing, browsing, and shooting requirements. You really feel empowered with this operating system, and that is what keeps Android fans sticking to Android year after year. And happily, Samsung skins are now an asset rather than a liability. Hardware wise, you will also get Wi-Fi 6E, which is an increment over the Wi-Fi 6 supported by the latest iPhones. But know that this is mostly theoretical unless you have a Wi-Fi 6E router, which are obscure and expensive at the moment. But it's certainly progress, and this is the world's first phone to support the new standard. Now, speaking of cameras, here are the initial untouched shots taken with the S21 Ultra under various conditions, and also some comparisons to the iPhone 12. First impressions are great, pictures are vivid and crisp and ready to post to social media without too many tweaks, just as I like them. The camera is certainly improved, but deserves coverage in a separate video, so we will get into that later. And finally, the battery life. Now, this is an area where the Exynos variants of Samsung flagships have always suffered. It was the main reason for selling the S10 Plus for me, and for some reason, they just can't keep up with other phones in this area in real world usage. Now, although it's too early to give a verdict on this, let's see what works for and against the S21 Ultra. First of all, the capacity of the battery is a huge 5000 mAh. This is now considered normal for Android flagships, and just a couple of years ago would have been considered massive. The adaptive refresh rate of the display should help with this by ramping down when displaying static images. You still get full HD Plus resolution selected from the factory and will need to change it to QHD Plus in the settings. At the moment, it's a bit too early to say about the battery, but rest assured I will post a video update on this once I've spent some more time with the phone. So there you have it, the S21 Ultra in Phantom Silver, the phone with the world's best display and already being touted by many as the overall best phone in the world. While I wouldn't immediately go that far, I'm most impressed that almost everything has seen an improvement here. No core competency has been left untouched, and every aspect of the phone has been worked upon to great effect. I will do more tests on this and dwell deeper into other areas, so do subscribe and stay connected for future updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.